Debt crisis in America as borrowers who are 90 days or more past due hits a 14-year high. Today, I read an interesting article on Yahoo Finance written by Jana Heron titled, Americans Have Always Sought Debt Relief After the Holidays. Now their struggle is year-round. According to the author, overall household debt climbed to a new high of $18.04 trillion in the fourth quarter. Now, here is the most interesting part of the article. The author said, in the past, Americans needed help with credit counseling after the holiday season, but that trend is disappearing. Now, Americans need help throughout the year because of expensive car loans and credit card debt. The author referenced Bruce McClary from the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, who said, we are hearing more and more from people who are feeling the financial stress year-round. Many are stuck in unaffordable car loans, while others are turning to credit cards to pay for groceries and gas. Here are my thoughts. First, my heart goes out to these Americans who are struggling financially. I hope they can find a way out of their current financial predicament. I get it though. Life is expensive. It is really expensive for people with families to support. I'm sure there are surprises every week that weren't expected. Even the best plan can be derailed by an expensive emergency. I'm afraid the chickens have finally come home to roost after all of the years of cheap money. Many people overpaid for cars in recent years, and now they are buried financially in those cars. They owe far more than the cars are worth, so they stand no chance of selling them to get out from under the payment. Even if they could, what are they going to do then? Good luck finding a quality used car for a decent price. Even if you do, a bank may not finance it given the age. Getting back to the article, the author referenced serious delinquency rates for auto loans and credit cards. The share of borrowers 90 days or more past due on those debts are at 14-year highs. My friends, I can believe this. I'm afraid this trend may get worse and not better. Right now, unemployment is still relatively low. If we see that tick up, I'm sure the number of borrowers 90 days or more past due will tick up as well. I think many people are ill prepared for the dark storm clouds that may be on the horizon. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube with a gong. There were over 3,000 comments beneath this article. I couldn't believe it. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, the country is $36 trillion in debt. Social Security is $23 billion in debt. Projected shortfall. U.S. households are $18 trillion in debt. When do we admit that our entire country is playing with monopoly money? The next commenter said, there is a difference between being able to buy something and being able to afford it. Many simply don't understand this basic truth of finance. People want more things, vacations, fancy restaurants, etc., and they want it now. So what do? Credit cards, unaffordable loans. At some point, there comes a time of reckoning. Another commenter said, as of today, most credit card interest is 29.9%. There is no correlation between the Fed's funds rate and credit card interest anymore. Some small banks and credit unions may offer a lower rate, but most want it paid off in full each month, and if not, they got you hooked forever. This next person said, wages have not kept up with inflation and productivity increases. Look at the Economic Policy Institute's website, and you will find that since 1980, wages and inflation and productivity increases have not risen consistently. So wages have not kept up, and people are more squeezed. And add to that, so many new things are monetized and then slowly inflated in cost. And that means that hardworking people making the median wage can't afford anything. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, housing affordability is the worst it has been in decades, thanks to a spike in home prices and mortgage rates. Combined, the two have helped to push the typical salary required nationwide for homeownership up to $106,500, which is a stunning 61% increase from the $59,000 required just 4 years ago. This is according to Zillow. Well, my friends, the commenters always have interesting things to say. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, this next article is interesting. I read this on Yahoo Finance, put out by Go Banking Rates, and written by Sean Bryant, titled, Warren Buffett, How Looking Poor Can Help You Become Wealthier. Warren Buffett finds little utility in luxury items. He finds joy in experiences and relationships. He believes people should change their outlook in wealth from spending to impress others to creating a fulfilling life. Here are my thoughts. I tend to agree with him here. I personally find little utility in luxury items. That's not to say I don't own some nice things, because I do. You just won't see me spending $500 on a Louis Vuitton wallet just because I want to flex with this luxury brand. There is an Amazon link to the wallet that I use in the description below. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. I just got another one recently because I wore out the last one after several years. I love having a card wallet to keep all my bank debit cards and credit cards organized, and to keep my grocery card, driver's license, and passport card organized. For the price, you can't beat it. With that said, there is that nasty chemical smell that is on a lot of items that come from China, but that goes away after a short period of time. You also won't see me spending over $200 on Ray-Ban sunglasses when I can buy decent sunglasses for a fraction of that. To me, things like sunglasses and pens are disposable items. If I forget them somewhere, no big deal. I know people who go into credit card debt to buy things such as a luxury wallet or luxury sunglasses. From my perspective, that is foolish. I'd much rather have my money compounding and working for me while I sleep. Getting back to the article, the author discusses strategies for looking poor. He said, looking poor means you prioritize modesty. Instead of focusing on a flashy new car or the latest fashion trends, you prioritize your long-term wealth. This might involve using coupons, buying clothes at a thrift store, or volunteering instead of going to a fancy restaurant. Here are my thoughts. I agree with this to a certain extent, but you don't need to look poor. If you go to a thrift store, you can find high-end clothing that will make you look like you spent a lot of money at an expensive store. I've bought ties for $1.99 that retail for over $200. I've bought antiques that I've flipped for multiples of what I purchased them for. Getting back to the article, the author said, looking poor can help you become wealthier by having a frugal mindset so you can avoid lifestyle creep. Here are my thoughts. Lifestyle creep is real. Some people start earning more money, so they buy a fancier house in a more upscale neighborhood because they can afford it. The next thing you know, they want to buy a fancier car to keep up with the neighbors, and they buy fancier furniture to keep up with the neighbors. Then they want to go on the same type of fancy vacations as the neighbors. I'm sure some of you have seen this happen. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.